Hello everybody, welcome to another test of Vipre Internet Security. As you guys know, it's one of the new security suites in the industry. And it's not exactly really new. They've been around for a couple of years or so, but relatively, yes, they're new. And I think you've heard that they might be doing very well. I mean, according to some other websites and reviews. I don't know about it because I haven't tested it yet. So I decided to do a test on Vipre Internet Security 2012. That's their latest version. I did see their last version, however, and one big change that I can see is that, the interface has become a lot more modern, and it looks a lot better than what it did a few years ago. I mean, when they started their product, their interface was really bad. I mean, it looked something like of the 18th century or something like that. So they've improved on that at least. And as you can see, there are the main tabs over here, and you've got some tools. So let's just have a look around the interface. Let me just show you that it's up to date. Okay. So as you can see, you can go to your advanced settings here. So I'm going to check the settings. As you can see, they've got a cloud that's ThreatNet. And as you can see, everything's set to stock. Now, this is what I liked. I mean, they have a lot of customized options that you can mess around with, and if you're an advanced user, you can customize it the way you want, the type of scans, that exactly what to scan. I mean, it's pretty easy to use interface overall. And of course, they've got the real-time, and they've got an email protection, and they've got anti-phishing, and also a spam filter, but it's not enabled from default. So they've got an anti-spam. And they've got some power mode, just basically something for laptops. And they've got a firewall. Now, something strange that I did find in this product is that by default, intrusion detection system is disabled. Now, I just enabled it myself. You can go to their website and see a few screenshots. You'll find it disabled. I just enabled it myself. Now, you'll say that generally I do test products with default settings, but this was a really surprising thing. To have intrusion detection and to have it disabled is pretty strange. So what I did was I enabled it, and you'll say I probably test most products in default. Why an exception for Vipre? Well, that's because it's pretty important, and if I don't enable it, and let's say if it does pretty bad, then somebody might just come up and say, well, you had intrusion detection disabled, so there was no zero-day protection. So because this is pretty important, I'm going to enable it myself. Just one setting. But I had to do it because it was important. So that's just basically the advanced settings. Now you can do your scans. You've got firewall. You can manage. Got history quarantine. Now this is nice that you can allow files from being blocked by the zero-day and also the real-time. So this is basically like a trusted files thing that Komodo has. Anyway, they've also got a scheduled scan, as usual. And they've got some secure file eraser that permanently deletes files. And a history cleaner, which I don't think really is necessary in an antivirus, but they've got it anyway. So this just basically cleans up your browser history. And so this PC Explorer is basically something nice. It gives ratings to your applications and also to your process and also in your startup applications. So it basically gives ratings to stuff, and it's really useful when you don't trust some startup program and you want to know whether to use it or disable it. You can basically check the ratings. They give ratings either safe, unknown, suspicious, or hazardous. And it's kind of hung up over here. Anyway, so that's basically their interface. There you go. You can see their internet applications, the startup. There you go. And here's the rating, publisher, the description, and where it's located, and then file path, which is pretty good, pretty useful for advanced users. But for simple users too, I mean, the interface is pretty easy to use, so it's good in the interface. I mean, the interface is good. So I decided let's get started on testing. Before that, let's just check out their memory usage. Now, Vipre do claim to be one of the lightest of PC security suites for PC, I mean. And but if you look at the RAM usage, it basically varies at around 40 megs, which isn't very light. But I haven't seen a lot of systems slow down, nothing considerable. So basically, I mean, it's not the lightest. It's light certainly, but it's not the lightest as the claim to be. I've seen security suites do better than this, especially in RAM. I mean, 40 isn't light, somewhere near moderate. So anyway, we'll just get started on testing. So I've got some zero-day links over here that should give Vipre a pretty good test. I've never tested this, so I don't know what to expect, but we'll see. Okay, so I'll run the first one. Okay, we'll run that. Okay, so I didn't get anything from Vipre, and this one's running. Anyway, let's just try the next one. Okay, so it looks like Vipre's blocked this one. Vipre has determined that the site you're trying to visit contains harmful or objectionable content. Now, to proceed to this site in Vipre, okay, so this is blocked by Vipre, and they don't allow you to just, go across their warning and open the website. To do that, what you'll have to do is you have to go to the settings and add this to their exceptions, which is pretty good. Because, in case users want to play around, they can't even, open it in case their program can block it. So, I mean, the web blocker is doing a good job. I mean, it's just blocked one, but anyway. Okay, so the second one seems to have been blocked as well, because I didn't get anything at all. Yeah, I guess let's just try to reload it again. Yeah, there you go. So it's blocked, so that's good. Okay, so this one's been blocked as well, I guess. I think I missed the third one. Yeah, so we'll try that now. Okay, so that's blocked. So let's proceed. Okay, so looks like that one's been blocked as well. Now, it's really good to see their URL blocking or web blocking or whatever they call it doing a pretty good job, because this is really a nice feature that allows you to block files even before they reach your computer. So you don't have to wait for the download to start to download it and then for your antivirus to come out from somewhere and say, hey, that's not safe. So basically it's pretty good. I really like it when the blocking's done right in the web before you need to go to any antivirus or anything like that. Okay, that one's blocked as well. So it's really nice to see them to integrate some nice web blocking, because I've not seen good amount of web blocking from most of the leading, AV companies. Many of them have got it, but the ones that actually do a good job haven't got it. For example, Komodo hasn't got this. So it's good to see Vipre doing a good job with the web blocking, because it's nice to have the things blocked and not bother you even before they're on your computer. So this is kind of nice. Anyway, we'll wait for the final result. But so far, I mean, Vipre's doing a pretty good job. Okay, so that one's detected by the signatures and has been, well, okay, so it's blocked from opening, so it's not exactly quarantined or anything. Maybe it was quarantined, so yeah, I guess it's quarantined. So let's try next one. So far, Vipre's just missed this one big file that's running still now. And I don't know what it's doing. It seems to be doing something strange, because it's just saying, please wait, and it keeps running forever. And Kill Switch hasn't come up with this yet, so I can't say exactly if this is a piece of malware. And I don't know what exactly this file is. I'll just save it on my desktop, some kind of DLL file. So we'll just save it and see if, Vipre detects it. So it didn't detect it, so we'll have to see if my other engines get it. Otherwise, we'll just upload it to Firestore. Okay, this one's blocked, and the final one. So far, so good for Vipre. Okay, so this one's been blocked as well. So they've really done a lot of work on their URL filter, which is showing very well. And from what I can see, Vipre's actually done really well in the web blocking. I mean, I just had one miss. And I'm not sure whether this is a miss or it's false positive. I don't know, because it's been given a safe rating by Kill Switch, which is really strange. But anyway, I don't know how long this will run, so I'll just terminate it. And then I'm just going to run CCleaner as usual. And then I'll run Hitman Pro. So I'll be back when Hitman Pro finishes scanning. So see you guys then. Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, Hitman Pro has finished scanning and it didn't find anything, which is not at all surprising because I didn't see any misses. So what I have to do is I have to do a scan with Malwarebytes, and I'll wait for the results. So see you guys when the scan is done from Malwarebytes. So I'll be right back. Welcome back. As you can see, Malwarebytes has finished scanning and it's found one thing. Now, if you'll see, this is the first link that we tried, the BAL installer or whatever it is. Now, it's been detected as a potentially unwanted program and a bundle installer. So basically, even Malwarebytes isn't exactly saying that this is certainly a piece of malware, but it's been rated as potentially unwanted program. So basically, it is a miss, but not a major one. It's just a small miss. So, I mean, as I conclude the link test by removing this, okay, so this one's been removed. Restart later, that's not important because the testing is done. And from what I can see, Vipre actually did really well in the link test. I mean, it just had one miss. And yeah, I forgot to tell you guys one thing. I think you noticed that there was a file here that's missing now. Now, guess where it is? it's reached right into the quarantine box of Vipre. Oops, sorry about that. Where exactly was that? Don't panic by these numbers because I've actually done some testing before. Not exactly link testing or anything that would infect. I've just done a signature test, so these files are from then. So anyway, let me just tell you guys what happened. The file that was here was not detected by Vipre, as you saw during the link test, but when I uploaded it to Firestore, I found out that Vipre actually had a signature for it, which was ridiculous. So I came back and I did a right-click scan on that file, and it was quarantined by Vipre. So what exactly I wanted to say is basically that Vipre's real-time did not detect that threat, but the definition scan did, so which is pretty strange. And I saved the file right on my desktop, so it should have been detected by the real-time. But I guess maybe because it's not an executable file, it was a DLL, so maybe the real-time just doesn't scan DLL, so maybe that's why I didn't get it. But anyway, so I've got a few files over here. The test isn't over. I've just got a few files, and I think I've got 103. So first I'll disable Vipre. And then I'm going to extract these files over here. They've got all kinds of stuff, low detection rate, high detection rate. Some are from today. I mean, basically, let me just tell you the composition. Let me see how many files. Okay, so it's got 103 files. From this, around 70 are from the last review, and 30 are 0 days. So it should be a pretty balanced setup to test Vipre. So I'm going to do a right-click scan. And so far, Vipre's really impressed me. But we'll see how the detection rate test goes. So, okay, I'll just enable the real time right now. Okay, now that's enabled, and it's scanning. So it's found a lot of stuff. So instead of just waiting for it to do it, I guess I'll just pause and I'll be back. Welcome back. As you can see, the cleaning's done, and basically the scanner speeds were decent. It wasn't too fast, wasn't too slow. It was somewhere in the middle. But as far as the cleaning was concerned, it did take quite a long time to get this cleaned, which is it's pretty slow as far as cleaning is concerned, but scan speeds were okay, not fast, but okay. So it says it's removed all threats, and some files have not been removed. Now, what exactly I'm going to do to those files, it isn't exactly telling me to do anything. It just said it couldn't do anything about some files. So basically it says that actions were taken all automatically, everything's been quarantined, and I guess something has not been quarantined. That's what I'm searching for, but I can't find it, and it's not telling me to do anything. But I really like their way of showing the results. They've got the action taken, then the risk name. You've got all kinds of threats here, fake AVs, Trojans, adware, black hole, redirects, some generic Trojans, Z-bots, backdoor, all kinds of stuff, keyloggers, all kinds of stuff. So basically, it's a really nice way of showing the threats, and it gives you the risk category, and then if it has how many traces it has. And then it tells you the risk level, which is pretty useful in case you doubt that it might be a false positive. So basically, it's a pretty nice way of showing, but that's not that important. So we'll just, okay, so that's done. And it said that something it couldn't find anyway. I don't know what exactly to do, but I'll just do another scan just to make sure that everything's removed. So by default, it starts the scan in the background. Let's see what kind of detection ratio Vipre gets, because as far as the links were concerned, all of them were 0-day, and it got a really good detection rate on those. So I'm expecting a pretty good performance in the folder of malware, because the link test was basically everything was got there by their signatures. The 0-day component was not needed at all. So let's just see how many it misses. Some people say that Vipre have got good signatures now. Now we'll see whether that's true. Okay, so it didn't find anything, so basically it's pretty happy. It says everything's done. So let's just look at the misses. Okay, so it's missed quite some stuff. And I think it is 16 files. So total of 103. 16 misses. So that gives us a percentage of 84.46, which is, it's pretty good as far as my testing is concerned. 84.4 on the folder of malware that I used, which had 0-day threats, some high detection threats, of course, but some really low detection threats, all kinds of threats, and it got basically 84.4, which is pretty good. I'd expect an average AV to get about 76, so 84 is way ahead of that. So it's pretty good. And as we saw, it's the same kind of files, not the same, but the same kind of files that I tested in the Norton review, and it just got 67. So in that, it's a sheer contrast to that. So Vipre really do seem to have pretty good signatures, but now we'll see how exactly they respond to threats that's not in the signatures. There you go, this one, okay, it doesn't start because something's missing, so nothing to do with Vipre. Let's try to run this one. Okay, that one didn't run. But Vipre doesn't seem to be telling me anything at all. Okay, so this one's basically, I guess, the file that they found but they couldn't remove. So I guess I'll just remove it and do the calculations again, maybe. Okay, I don't know what exactly is this. Guess I'll just leave it. Okay, this one's not starting. I don't know whether Vipre's blocking this or it's just not running. I don't see any kind of alert. Let's just see if just this count goes up. Let's run it again. Didn't go up. Okay, this one's running and I don't see anything from Vipre. Okay, this one's just... Okay, let's run that. And doesn't look like Vipre's exactly. Okay, the bankers opened up and Vipre doesn't seem to be doing anything. So as far as 0-day is concerned, I think they're lacking because I'm not seeing any kind of behavior monitoring or any kind of post-intrusion prevention, nothing. It's just sitting out there. So I don't know exactly. Their 0-day seems to be pretty bad. There you go. I can basically run just about everything. The only thing is that maybe some of these files are corrupted, so they won't run. So this one was blocked as well. So their signatures are doing a very good job, but as far as 0-day is concerned, I really don't see anything at all. It just looks like they're lacking totally in 0-day, which is really a setback. Because they really did well on the detection test, as you saw. But there you go, I can just do anything. It's not telling me to do anything at all. It's just letting everything through. So I just guess, they don't have much of a 0 day at all. Whoops, sorry about that. But from what it seems like, I don't see much of a 0 day at all from Vipre, which is sad to see, because they did pretty well in the signatures, and maybe I was just thinking they might be, there you go, everything's running. I was just thinking they might be in contention to be, maybe even be a competitor to the ThePCSecurity of the Year. That's what I was thinking when I saw the amazing detection rates and signatures. But as I can see, it's nowhere near that. It's done pretty well, but it can be basically called a pretty good security suite just because, the 0 day is lacking. And no matter how good signatures you have, some malware will always be there for which you're not going to have signatures. And you need to have something against them at least. But as far as Vipre is concerned, it seems to have nothing. It says it has a host intrusion prevention. And I even enabled that. It was disabled from default, but I enabled it. But in spite of that, it's not doing anything, which is not very good. So I guess that's it for this review. I don't know how to rate Vipre exactly because their signatures were excellent, but I guess their lack of 0 day will pull them back. So I'll give the final ratings in the description box, so please read the description for the final rating. So that's it for this review. Have a nice day.